In a rehab center, a drug addict girl named Dobby is talking to other members of her group. Meanwhile, she received a call from a police officer. The officer told Dobby that her mother is critically ill and will have surgery tonight. The men also asked Darby to tell his sister about the incident. However, the medical staff at the hospital would not allow Dobby to speak. Everyone thought she was lying because she had taken drugs. At night, she used the girl's phone to call her sister. Darby's sister said, "Sorry, I was too busy to come." At night, when everyone was sleeping, Dobby escaped from the hospital. She steals a car while walking and driving to town. When she got there, she found the drugs she had used. After the flashbacks, she knew she had overdosed on the drug. At that time, a policeman approached her and asked, "Where are you going?" "You cannot continue because the storm blocked the way. I can't let you go on. There is a local visitor center nearby where you can spend the evening." Dobby went to spend the night at the visitor center, where she met several people, including a boy named Dash and his friends. There is a couple. The wife is a nurse and the husband is a soldier. Dobby went outside to pick up the signal because there was less signal access in the area. While searching for a signal, she heard some noises from the van. Looking out the window, Dobby noticed a girl strapped inside. The young girl called for help. To help the girl, Dobby tries to open the van. She was unsuccessful. However, as she was unable to open the van, and it dawned on Dobby that the van might belong to the occupant. So Dobby said to the girl, "I will come to help you." Dobby later took a photo of the van's license plate and get in the car immediately. Later, when she started crying, a couple of soldiers came there. Dobby is asked, "Where are you going?" However, Dobby ignores him and goes inside. She behaved normally and claimed that she did not see or know anything. The soldiers now invite everyone to play cards. So as a result of his persuasion, everyone started playing cards. Throughout the process, Dobby learned every detail about each of them. Who are the nurses, soldiers, and kidnappers among them? Dobby started questioning them normally. As for where everyone goes and where they come from, Dobby asks these questions to find the kidnapper, who kidnapped the child after tying him in a van. After card game, Dobby knows who the kidnapper is. Xiaoji's companion is a kidnapper. Ash is the boy who brought his friend's kidnapper here. When Dobby found out who the kidnapper was, she became confused and tried to text the police after going into the bathroom. She couldn't call because of a weak connection. She later exited the bathroom through the hole. She managed to unlock the van. She then approaches the girl and tries to free her. At the same time, the kidnappers, Ash's friends, arrive there, so Dobby hid behind the seat. Therefore, the kidnappers cannot see him. On the bus, the kidnappers are angry about losing the game. He told the girl that everything will be fine when we reach my uncle's house. The kidnappers found that the girl had taken out a cardboard box from the window. For this, he became angry with the girl. He later told the girl, "I will bring you something to eat. Of course, you can be hungry," and he walks away. Dobby was there when he left. She also tried unsuccessfully to free the girl. So she told the girl again, "I swear I'll be back to help you," and went back to the bathroom. On the other hand, the kidnapper went to the van with a packed lunch in his pocket, so he can give this food to the girl. The soldier asked him, "Where are you going this time?" The kidnapper told him, "I left my phone in the car and I'm going to get it," before the kidnapper approached the van. When he unlocked the van key suddenly fell to the ground. When he bent down to pick up the key, he immediately looked at his feet. These tracks are shown from the visitor center where they all lived. On the other side, we see Ash, the kidnapper's companion. He walked into the bathroom and heard Darby's voice. "Is that you, Dobby, in there like he said?" Dobby let him in as soon as he opened the door. At that time, the kidnapper, Xiaoji's friend, appeared. After seeing Darby with Ash, he leaves. After leaving, Dobby tells Ash that his friend is the kidnapper because he locked the girl in his van. Ash heard the words and asked, "Have you told the police about this?" Dobby, after hearing this, said, "I tried many times, but there is no internet here." Hearing this, Xiaoji asked Darby to go out and save the girl. Dobby said, "We couldn't go because the kidnappers had guns. We have to tell the soldier about it because he is a soldier and he probably has a gun." According to Ash, he probably didn't have a gun. "We must not put soldiers in danger. We should find some weapons here." After a search, they found a gun. When the kidnappers come to kill you, Ash instructs Dobby to get out first. "I would sneak up on him and attack him, and Dobby would do the same." She walked over to the van and tried to free the young girl. When Dobby opened her mouth, she asked, "Where are the two men?" Dobby thought there was only one kidnapper, so why did the girl think there were two? This means that there are other people around the kidnapper. As Dobby watches outside the van, Ash approaches the kidnapper. Dobby identifies Ash as someone connected to the kidnappers. Xiao Ji was furious with the kidnapper of his friends and said that you are careless. Dobby already knows all about you. Gun in hand, Ash moves towards the van. Meanwhile, Dobby escapes from the van. After catching up with her, Xiao Ji entered the center. When entering the center, you must immediately go to the toilet. There he found Darb. Later we see the kidnappers enter the center. The soldier said to his nurse wife, I don't like Ash's friends. I hate him. I think there is something wrong with him. Later, the soldier asked, where's Dobby? The kidnapper said, I don't know where he is. The soldier and his nurse wife decided to find Dobby there. So the soldiers went outside and tried to open the van. However, he is unable to open the van and Ash threatens Dobby with a gun. If you tell anyone, I will kill you and that girl after I shoot you. For financial reasons, we kept the girl after her abduction. We don't want to hurt him. We need the money. Besides, the girl's father is rich. The girl's father gave us cash and we sent the girl home to her. Later, Ash found Dobby's text messages on his sister's cell phone. He learns that Dobby is a drug addict. When Ash asks Dobby about his father, Dobby replies that he is no longer alive because he took his own life. Listen, don't interrupt the conversation, Ash, and pay attention to what I'm saying. The girl is sick and needs medicine. Hearing this, Ash responded saying that Dobby, we can't give her that much medicine. She has a disease where she is given medication when she is under a lot of stress and overdoses as a result. Ash threatens Dobby to kill him again, and suddenly a nurse, a soldier's wife, arrives there. After meeting the nurse, Ash acts like he and Dobby like each other. Later, Ash leaves and the nurse asks Dobby, are you okay? Hearing this, Dobby said yes, I'm fine. Later they came out from where everyone was sitting. Here, Ash invites Dobby to join them. The soldier also asks Dobby about her father. Dobby tells him that my father was the shooter, and this is where Ash reveals the truth about his father's suicide to everyone. Dobby looked out at this time and noticed that the girl had gotten out of the van. Xiao Ji also noticed this, so he signaled his partner to go outside. Then he immediately leaves and Dobby goes into the bathroom. Later, he was also chased by Xiao Ji. He grabs Dobby and tries to kill her after strangling her throat, but somehow Dobby managed to escape on his own. The kidnapper arrives and tells Ash that the girl has run away. She is not in the car. I think she has gone to the mountain. She won't call us, Ash claimed upon hearing the news, but she will call Dobby back. So Xiaoji brought Dobby to the mountain. The kidnappers claimed that our uncle would be angry if he found out. After hearing this, Dobby asked, who is this uncle? The kidnappers claimed that the uncle had adopted us, Ash and me. We are all siblings and we both work in my uncle's house. After tricking them, Dobby tries to escape from them. Noticing this, Ash shot her, but the bullet missed her. Dobby carried the tree forward and then fell. Soldiers came out to check after hearing gunshots. When he came out, he saw the girl he had found there. He immediately enters the center with the girl. After examining his wife, a nurse, she said the girl was not well, but I would do it. Dobby tricks the brothers in the middle. When she was there, she told the soldiers that I knew the girl. He was kidnapped by the kidnapper Ash and his minions. They are all dangerous, and they are siblings, and they all have guns. At this time, Xiaoji and the kidnapper arrived in the city center. The soldiers saw them, closed the door and drew the curtains. As Ash and the kidnappers tried to get in, the soldiers said, I know you're dangerous because you have a gun, and later warned Dash to be careful because the girl was sick and if she didn't take the medicine in time she could die. We have medicine, take it and feed him. Here the nurse advises us to accept their offer. However, Dobby and the soldiers disagree. Dobby tells them you can't get out of here because I have the keys to your van. Here the soldier instructs Ash to give us medicine in exchange for the van key. Realizing they didn't have their keys, Ash and his partner walked up to the vehicle and hit the gas before turning back. Outside the center they started pouring gasoline. The nurse forbade them to do it and said, please don't do it because we will die like this. Please let us move on. The soldiers told Dobby that they did not light a fire or go anywhere. Then hide the van keys. Then he gave his car keys. Here Ash asks her to hand over the girls so we can let you go. But the soldiers did not agree with him. Dobby hid the keys and had some tools as weapons. She also gives some tools to the soldiers. Ash lit a match and warned them to hand the girl over to them. Otherwise, I have a burnt match in my hand and I will light it. The nurses told the soldiers to do this because they wanted to kill us after they burned us. We had to give the girls back to them, and the soldier asked the wife, Sister, why are you afraid? Don't worry, they won't harm us. Meanwhile, the girl wakes up and recognizes the nurse. Here we see flashback scenes, the nurse who used to take care of the girl and worked in her home. The girl used to tease the nurse even though she ignored her. So the nurse helps Ash and his partner try to kidnap the girl. Because they don't have girl's medicine, they call the nurse and asked her to hand over the medicine and warn him that we will not give you any share if you do not bring the medicine. For this reason, she and her husband came here during the terrible storm so that she could supply them both with the girl's medicine. Here, they discover the truth of why the nurse tells Ash that her soldier husband doesn't have a gun and is lying. Dobby was later pepper sprayed by nurses. When the soldier saw this, he asked, "Why are you doing this?" The nurse explained that we had spent all our savings and had no money to live on. As soon as he heard that if that was the case, you should have informed me and I would give you the money and everything would be fine. Meanwhile, Ash and the kidnapper entered the house. The girl gave the girl an injection to help her recover. Later, the nurse assured the soldiers that the girl would not be harmed and that she would get home safely. When Dobby heard this, he said, "I don't think she'll get home safely. I don't believe these brothers will send him home because they are smugglers and used to smuggle a lot." Hearing this, the nurse was shocked. She tells Ash to call the girl's father and he will pay you triple instead of double. Now that everything is settled, Yak-Siu knows where to take this girl. He asked for the keys to the van, to which the soldier replied, "I don't have a key." Hearing this, he warned the soldier with his gun. After hearing this, the nurse said that there is nothing wrong with my husband. Dobby may have left the keys somewhere else. The soldiers told Dobby not to tell anything about the keys. Zhao Ji was furious after hearing this and shot and killed the soldier. As soon as the nurse noticed this, she also began to sprinkle the ashes with pepper. But when the kidnapper came closer, water splashed into his eyes. As a result, Ash killed her after shooting the nurse. He asked Dobby again for the key. When Dobby refused to hand over the keys, he pinned her hand to the wall with a nail gun. As a result, Dobby was in so much pain that she cried many times. The kidnapper told Ash that I couldn't see anything because my eyes were burning. From there, Ash took him to dry his eyes. Dobby tries to free her as they both leave, but she was in too much pain and couldn't help herself. To do this, she called a nearby girl and asked her to give her a hammer. Meanwhile, Ash arrives with his partner just as she hands her the hammer. Dobby immediately hid the hammer. Dobby received a message on her phone that her mother had died. Ash shows Dobby the information. Ash hears about the text messages she tried to send to the police. With access to the internet, they have been handed over to the police. This confused the kidnappers. Here, Ash asks Dobby for the key. Once Dobby refused to hand over the keys, this time he threatened to shoot the girl in the hand with a nail gun. Hearing this, the girl burst into tears. Later, the kidnappers stopped Ash from doing so, but he doesn't pay attention to his friends either. Dobby finally told him where the keys were. Ash, on his way there, gave the gun to a friend who kidnapped him and left him there. He demanded that if any of them misbehaved, he could be shot. Then he went outside to find the key. On the other side, we see the police approaching the center. The kidnapper assured the girl that everything would be fine when we returned. Dobby looked around and asked the girl to turn off the light. Although she was scared, she went to turn off the light. The kidnapper noticed her standing up and told her to sit down. She did not listen to the kidnappers and went to turn off the light. The kidnappers later threatened her, saying, "I will kill you." The girl turned off the light when the light went out. Dobby immediately removed the nail from his hand using a hammer. When the kidnapper turned on the light, Dobby hit him in the face with a hammer. Zhao Ji looked and found the key outside. He heard the shot. He went inside to check. He sees Dobby keeping his partner, the kidnapper, and takes him at gunpoint. Ash shows his claw gun and threatens her. Meanwhile, the kidnappers tell Dobby not to shoot. The girl appeared out of nowhere and slapped Zhao Ji's hand. By accident, the kidnapper's forehead was hit by a nail. This made the kidnapper restless. Ash approaches him and assures you that nothing will harm you. After picking up the girl, Dobby went outside and got into the car. On the other hand, Yak-Siu went outside after capturing the kidnappers. As the kidnapper slipped and fell, a nail went through his forehead. As a result, he died there. Seeing this, Xiao Ji was crushed and also dressed in rags. At this, he went out and punctured Dobby's tire. This causes the car to become unbalanced and crash. While Ash was trying to kill Dobby with a nail gun, the police arrived. When the police saw him, they asked him to surrender and Dobby slowly got out. Dobby shoots Ash, leading the officers to believe that Dobby is a criminal. The police fired at her, causing her to fall. Meanwhile, Ash picked up a nearby gun and fired at the police. He then approaches Dobby to shoot her, but the gun is out of bullets. Later, Ash prepares to kill Dobby with a nail gun. At the same time, she put a screwdriver around his neck. Xiaoxi's game ended like this. The girl was also sitting in the car and saw everything. Dobby later went to the police and used the radio to call for help. Sometime later, we see Darbin rehab. We can see some paintings of the girl there. This means that Dobby is still in contact with the new girl. Later, Darby's sister came to the meeting. Dobby was thrilled and excited to see him. And the movie ends here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.